Hi guys! For this level 4 task, Manuela and I, Brandy, completed a Prezi presentation, and we just wanted to show the different ways that you can use and teach lessons in the classroom without the simple PowerPoint or simple lectures like that. And we believe that Prezi is something that kids will really be able to engage in, and you can include links and you can include websites and pictures and charts and graphs in this presentation to really help engage your students. For our level 4 task, we chose to implement a lesson for kids in the elementary school ages. So we really focus on kindergarten through 4th grade, where these students could really just get the beginning understanding of climate change and how important of an issue this is. And kids this age, we couldn't find a better way to relate climate change to them than via kids or via animals. Every kid loves animals, and for the most part, everybody loves polar bears. So we figured what better way to introduce this issue of climate change, which is affecting every single person in this world, than using polar bears and just how they relate to them. Prezi is a very easy tool to use. You can sign up for free as a student, you can sign up for free as a teacher, and you can even upgrade your subscription for a pro subscription, which allows you to do a couple more extra features. But for kids this age, you really don't need these. So I'm going to show you the presentation that we created today, which is the lesson that we would give to teachers to teach these kids. So to begin, we start out with our lesson plan, and which includes our learning objectives and our introduction about polar bears and the climate. And then we look at the ice and the population of the polar bears. And then our evaluation tool is what can you do as students? What can you do as a family to really help start to make a change in your lifestyle to save the polar bears? Here we clearly state our learning objectives, and you can see the outlines of each bubble. You can make them a circle, you can make them a square, you can change the color, you can see the background, and then you see if I go back here, you can see that I made the background a picture of the Arctic. So you can literally create every aspect of this presentation to cater to your needs. And like I said, you can include pictures here, to get those children engaged. Nobody loves the polar bear, especially. Nobody can't love a polar bear, especially a cute little one like this. And then here, we just wanted to show some of the ways that you can implement things into a PowerPoint. So here are the polar bears. We talked about the population and how it's declining and things like this. And our next step is our YouTube.
Hey, Dad! Where are my slippers? Ah, here they are. Polar bears don't have any problem keeping warm like we do. They're equipped with fur and layers of fat so they can swim and hunt in icy cold Arctic waters. They can even stay underwater for as long as 2 minutes and have been known to swim for 200 miles in a single stretch. One female polar bear was tracked swimming for 9 days straight. She deserves a medal. Sometimes you can see polar bears going for a ride on the ice. As they float along, they can smell their prey, seals, that are swimming beneath. It's funny because we think of polar bears as being white, but their fur is actually transparent. How cool is that? They totally blend into their surroundings. Oh, and did you know that polar bears have belly buttons? I wonder if they get lint trapped in there too. But because of global warming, more and more of the Arctic ice is starting to melt, and polar bears may disappear along with it. Right now, there are about 25,000 polar bears living in the Arctic region. Researchers predict that in 50 years, 2/3 of them will be gone. Not just because of global warming, but also because of oil drilling, pollution, and hunting. Polar bears are actually considered marine mammals, like seals and whales, because they are dependent on the sea for their food. They're a crucial part of the Arctic ecosystem. The health of their population indicates the health of the entire ecosystem, good or bad. Many of the 21,000 species who live in the Arctic would be affected by the loss of the polar bear. But the good news is that we can do things, like right this minute, that will help save the polar bears in a very real way. You don't even need to leave your house to do it. Saving energy and protecting the environment can help slow down and maybe even stop global warming. My friends and I started a club called the Screamin' Greenies, where we share ideas, do community projects, and take a pledge to do whatever we can to help save the planet and the polar bears. Last week, we made a polar bear cookbook to sell. All of the money we raise will go towards a foundation that's helping to save the polar bears. No, we aren't cooking polar bears, or even eating like polar bears. Walrus pizza and narwhal fries, anyone? It's all about choosing healthy foods that are locally grown, minimally processed, and don't require a lot of energy to cook. Now, I have to admit that I'm not much of a cook, but I do love to draw. I call this one Polar Bear in a Snowstorm. I know, but I couldn't help it. Mission Animal Rescue books are available wherever books are sold. Visit natgeo.com/kids/mission-animal-rescue.
So as you can see, that was just a great way to get those kids engaged. It wasn't a high-level video with a ton of information, but it included just enough information where these kids could go and learn more, or they could just get a basic understanding of what it really means that the polar bears are being affected by climate change. Here we go on, we talk about, we follow our outline, we talk about a closer look at the ice, and here I've included a link where kids can go and they pull up this link, and this is an amazing tool for kids, so we can look at it. So you see the chart on the left. You select a month, so we're going to say March, and we're going to go all the way back to 2000, and that's how much ice mass there was then. And then if we say March in 2011, then this is how much it's changed. You can see, the difference in the ices, and then again in September. Just see how much it's changed and how little ice there is left. So then if we go back to our presentation, we move on, and again, here's some stats that were super easy to find and super basic, just enough that these kids get an understanding of really how much trouble the polar bears are in. We compare it here to the population of Georgia, and I think that will really give students a good idea of how serious of an issue this is. And then this is our evaluation tool. So with students this young, it's really hard to evaluate whether they're learning, whether they're maintaining and really understanding the material that we're presenting to them. And so we developed a program of what can they do. And again, we have a link here, and we talk about how you can adopt a polar bear or do things to reduce greenhouse gases, like carpooling or riding your bike or recycling, or like they mentioned in the video, eating well. And these are ways that those students are really going to be able to feel like they're helping. So again, here's a quick link, and it has all of these amazing tools where not only can it's suggestions for these students, but they can literally click, I will commit to this. I will commit to walking or riding a bike, and it just gives them a real world thing. And then the teachers can track this. They can go on and look at their websites and really see what they're doing. And then again here you can see we talked about adopting a polar bear. That's a simple thing that a family can do for $20. They get a toy and a thing that says I adopt a polar bear, and they just really get to know that they had an impact on their lives. And again, these are our sources, but as you can see, you can customize it any way, shape, and form. I mean, if I wanted to, let me just give you a brief preview. I can go in, click right here, add text. I can change these shapes like I mentioned. I can go black. I can do it in bright pink, or I can change it to a rectangle, or make it invisible so it doesn't even have an outline, and just do all these kind of things where it's really customizable to your students and how they learn and how they function. And then I think the other great tool about this is you can change the path of things. So you saw our presentation in order, but we can change the order. We can change it in how the students learn, and that way if teachers do need to customize it a little bit, it's very easy for them to do. And we talked about integrating these plans. Our our suggestion was a few weeks after this presentation, teachers can actually go in and present, have students do an assignment that shows the progress they've made making with their families. And this is something that students can do whether they're low income, whether they don't have any income, whether they have little assets, little ways to make this happen. All it takes is one click of an iPhone or any phone with a camera, and they can show that they're making a difference by recycling or riding their bike instead of driving to dinner or things like that. And not only that, but it encourages family time as well. So we just believe that Prezi is something that is easy and it's easy to learn. Teachers can also have their students present Prezi instead of PowerPoint. So thank you guys for watching, and we hope you guys learned a lot.